challenging each other, and that helps with critical thinking. When they are with us, they probably, they control that a little bit. So amongst themselves, if you can put them in groups and make them do things, think about things, that is as well very good for critical thinking. Enabling learners to become quality critical thinkers. Here are some tips as well. You could ask students at the end to write a minute paper. We call them minute papers. They have to spend only a minute on it, okay? Responding to specific questions like, what was the most important thing you learned in today's class? Okay, I think that is really a very simple question, but it really makes them think. And give them a minute and tell them, write me a minute statement on this. And take the responses from them and see what you get. That's interesting too. It's a feedback cycle. You want to know what they thought was important. You may have thought something else was more important in your class, but they may think totally something else. So that's interesting. What one question related to this lesson remains uppermost in your mind? Okay, what one question related to this lesson remains uppermost in your mind? This is an interesting feedback to get from them as well. Then you understand how they're thinking. You have to know as an educator, how are my students thinking about what I'm saying and doing in class? What I think is important, they may not think that it as being important. So getting this feedback a little bit, 1 minute, that's it. Just give them 1 minute at the end of the class and they will write one statement, okay? How is what you learned today relevant to other classes or life outside of school? Now here I'm coming to the relevance contextual learning aspect, okay? Are they seeing the relevance? Are they seeing the linkages between math, science, geography, and so on, or not? Are there any connections they are making? That is part of critical thinking as well. Debates, group work, as I mentioned. Letters, writing letters to editors is a common practice we use, or tool, to challenge, to form opinions, to write argument and persuasion and so on in English classes, etc. Create ambiguity. Sometimes it's good to create a little bit at higher levels, okay, not at the lower grades. Don't do that because then they get confused. But definitely 8th, 9th, 10th grades, we can create some ambiguity in what we are saying. You could say something and then you could say, but, do you really think that is how it is? And make them think about it. And I like to do that. I think it's very interesting. Give conflicting information sometimes. And then they get all excited because they want to know, sometimes they want to see that their teacher is wrong. They want to prove that their teacher is, so they go and look for the information, they check, and all of that helps with their learning. Oh, but you said this, but I checked and it's not this. And so give conflicting information, that helps sometimes. And don't give students clear-cut material. Sometimes it's good to give them something that leaves it open, a little creativity, scope to think critically and so on. Don't give very, very clear-cut. Sometimes, okay? Depending on the activity, depending on the subject and so on. I would not do it for every aspect. If they need to learn a theory, they need to learn it and understand it. But if there are other areas where you can give them a little bit of open, unclear material or instructions, then you could do that sometimes. But of course you have to be careful with that. Sometimes, oh, but you said this and you said that and so on. So what we really looked at today, I'll try and wrap it up and want to hear some of your thoughts as well, how you do it, what you do and so on. We looked at what critical thinking is, why we should use it, what is the need for it today, what kind of simple tools we could use in critical thinking in our classrooms. We've tried to understand what kind of learners there are, different types of learners among students. Of course, that differs again with age. And trying to, even at a young age, even right from the start, first, second, third, fourth grade, question them and make them critical thinkers as well. So this is really what I wanted to share with you today. And I want to hear a little bit from you before we can wrap it up as to what you think the session is today. I mean, was it worthwhile? Do you think you gained something from it? And do you think you would try to practice it? You probably already do you? How are the students here with it? I don't know so much. I've seen them a little bit. Do they like it? Do they challenge you? Do they like to be challenged? They do. Do they ask a lot of questions, relevant or irrelevant?
Sometimes relevant.
Sometimes relevant. Okay. Do they like you? Do they like to challenge you and say, "But no, teacher, you're wrong," or "I"? Okay. They like to do that. That's good. And do they like it when they're right, or do they like it? Do they feel bad when they're wrong? Do they feel demotivated if they're wrong? No, that's very good. Okay, that's good too. Do they like doing things creatively?
Yes.
Okay. How do you encourage in your little way them to be a little critical in their thinking? Do you do anything different or special, or do you have any activities, or do you do mind mapping? Yes, mind maps. Okay, that's as well a very, very good tool for critical thinking. Brainstorming. Do you make them do a lot of activities in groups? Do they enjoy that? From what grade onwards? Even at the lower grades? Dramatization. Okay, yes, no words. That is wonderful. That will be something they will enjoy. Does a third grade student work in groups? Can they work in groups?
Yes.
Very good. Second grade? Anyone here from second? Yes, they do. They do? Okay, that's interesting. Very good, because that's very young. And if they're able to work well in groups, then you're on the right track. You're encouraging them to discuss, do things together, to question. Okay, and they're mature enough. That's very good. What else? Any other? Do you have debates? Do you conduct any kind of debates, especially in language? Higher classes, yes. You do debates. Do they enjoy it? Yes. They learn a lot from it, don't they? They do. And you see another personality of the student coming out. That's very good. Anything else you feel can help in that area, which I'm not aware of and you want to share with me? I'd like to learn as well, because I'm sure you're doing things which we don't do. And is there anything specific that you think is very different that you do here? Competitions, do you think that helps critical thinking? Contests and competing?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Especially when they are told that the best one will be put on the chart.
Okay, if the best one will be put up on the chart, yes. Okay, so that is good. They are competitive. Do you think competitiveness in the teaching environment is very positive for critical thinking, or do you think it's negative? Depends. Do you think it puts off students who could otherwise be quite a good critical thinkers, but they're not very competitive and they kind of step back and out of it? Have you ever noticed that?
Then I think there comes the teacher's job to actually constantly reinforcing the positive reinforcement and motivating them. So that it's like sometimes what happens in my class especially, there are students who actually want to be a part of the discussion. But a bit scared, what if I'm wrong? What if,
Yes,
students,
absolutely. Yes.
if people would laugh at me.
Yes.
So I keep on telling them, even if you're wrong or partly correct, please be a part of the discussion
Yes.
so that you will get extra information from
Yes.
others, or when I correct you.
Yes.
And that way even they will learn to be a part of the discussion and participate.
Very
Whatever it may be,
Yeah.
or discussion or activity, whatever.
Very good. That is important. And that's again up to the teacher to manage a little bit, because otherwise it can be very harmful to some students who are probably not that competitive or confident, or they cannot memorize, or they don't have certain skills, and then there can be a problem.
Because I think at grade 4 and 5 level, especially 4, it's new for students wherein teacher questioning, discussing,
Yes.
it is a bit new for them. So
Yes.
they are a bit, like,
They hesitate,
yeah.
and then they slowly come, and then they come out.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I noticed that. They saw a lot more at ease. They're more at ease in the higher grades. They're able to talk to their
Yes.
teachers at a more easy. They don't think so much, but when they're younger, they're a little scared. They think before they
So I
speak.
think now they get a hang of it, like once,
Yes.
we actually
Yes.
discuss on a daily basis.
That's good. That's very good. Any other skills or?
Also showcasing. We will be
Yes.
thinking right, we will be doing things right.
Yes.
We should give them the confidence to come out and speak. So when they do group projects, you need to come out and give your points. So if it's a
Yes.
presentation, then you need to come out and talk about it
Yes.
in front of your class or
Yes.
at school assembly.
Very
So that is very important to
Yes.
inculcate those values and make
Yes.
sure that it's okay to come out and speak in front of your class. So
Yes.
that's something that we try to harness in our case.
Very
need
good.
to come up and stand up and talk in front of.
Are they able to talk without any preparation, some of them, or do they need notes that they remember by rote and then they speak and they just vomit it out and they go back and they sit down?
There's a mixed bag of all.
Yes.
Some of the higher
can do
grades
it,
are
right?
more comfortable coming and just talking and
Yes.
giving their viewpoints, but the younger ones who need a little
They need
handholding.
That's good. That's good that it's so important today. Communication and spoken skills. If you are not able to communicate, there's no point in knowing what you know if you're not able to communicate. So I think that's a very good area of skill that you're looking at. Okay. Anything else? What about competitions on sports and so on? Are there certain students who are kind of labeled, oh, I'm great in sports, but I'm not good at this, and do they try to move into different areas, or do they stay with their area of comfort and their domain of comfort? I've seen that with students. When they're comfortable with something, they just stick with that domain. They don't move into other domains. Do you see that a lot here? Are they very well-rounded? Are they good at averagely good at everything? Or do you see students who are more specifically directed in one direction, or good at one thing and not good at anything else?
There are very few students who
Yeah,
are
so
good at one.
actually, yeah.
But
And
many
it-
students are on average. They try to be a
Like
part of
balance,
everything.
yeah.
Because they're getting graded.
Yes.
Okay, they're getting a mark and a grade for everything, and so they try. That's good.
Here again, if we see a particular student, or directed it back to one thing only, okay, I am
Yes.
best at this and I
Yes.
don't think I should do that. Again, there comes the teacher's duty to actually, basically find out what else can he do apart from what he is good at. There again, it's our job also somewhere. I don't know, I haven't come across any student as such, but then there may be students as such, and here again comes the teachers.
Yes, absolutely. Another area I might want to mention is, and it's important, I think, so if you're making your exam papers or your assessments, sometimes in your answer or the answer that you expect from that question, you could give them some guidelines to direct them towards critical thinking. So if you're expecting a certain answer, an essay answer on something, you could give one or two clues in your question or separately to help them to think more critically and answer more critically. And I think that is a very good strategy as well, which very often is not done. A harsher strategy is in multiple choice questions to give them negative grades if they answer wrong. And that's done a lot in Europe. It's not done in the United States as much, but it's done a lot in Europe. And I think it's a little harsh, especially for school kids. At higher levels you do that, but in the school I would probably not do that. The reason for that is to make sure that they're thinking before they choose the right multiple choice answer. Very often they don't think. And if you don't think right, you don't learn right. And so it's a harsh kind of punishment way of making them and forcing them to think very carefully before they choose the right answer. So very often they think, oh, multiple choice is so easy, let me just take, I'll go along kicking all along the way, and they don't think much. And that kind of assessment is not very productive if a student is just, lazily ticking things around. So then you might want to consider that, but I don't think it should be done at lower level, in school levels it shouldn't be. Okay, so I think I'll wrap up the session. Thank you very much for your time and sharing. I hope it's been informative and you've learned something from this. I really enjoyed working with all of you the last few days. This is formally my last day here today, but I will be in on Monday just to say goodbye to everyone. I'm leaving on Monday night and going back to Switzerland. So I'll definitely be in on Monday and say goodbye to most of you. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.